Im Schatten der Alpen tanzt du leicht, mit deinem Lächeln das Herzen erreicht. Du strahlst heller als das Sternenlicht, Claudi Sella wie Amor in Sicht. Du spielst mit dem Wind in stiller Nacht, dein Schweizer Akzent hat uns verzaubert sacht. Edelweißem Haar und Augen so klar, du bist magisch wie ein unsichtbarer Star. Claudi Sella wie mit Schweizer Charme, du bringst uns Freude, du hältst uns bei Laune. Eine Melodie, die uns niemals verließ, mit deinem Lachen kommt's Paradies. Claudi Sella wie mit Schweizer Charme, du bringst uns Freude, du hältst uns bei Laune. Die uns niemals verließ, mit deinem Lachen kommt's Paradies. Durch die Gassen von Zürich höre ich dein Lied, ein Klang der Hoffnung, ein Herz, das sieht. Jede Ecke, wo du bist, blüht auf. Claudi Sella, wieso geht's bergauf? Die Welt steht still, wenn du tanzt in der Nacht. Mit deinem Charme hast du uns alles gebracht. Der Himmel erleuchtet durch dein Sein. Claudi Sella wie, bei dir fühl ich mich daheim. Claudi Sella wie, mit Schweizer Charme, du bringst uns Freude, du hältst uns warm. Eine Melodie, die uns niemals verließ, mit deinem Lachen kommt's Paradies. Claudi Sella wie, mit Schweizer Charme, du bringst uns Freude, du hältst uns bei Laune. Eine Melodie, die uns niemals verließ, mit deinem Lachen kommt's Paradies.
Wenn ich das wüsste, Serienfan, keine Ahnung.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water I smelled something new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Wo kommen wir jetzt hin? Aus dem Klo. Hä?
I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling.
Meine Mägen fingen an zu knurren.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Krass.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Das ist also unser Stammbaum.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
So,
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
ich überlege gerade, wie diese Serie hieß aus den 80ern, wo sich der in Bestien verwandeln konnte. Mini-Animal oder so. Die Serie weiß es bestimmt. Wie viele Käfige?
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Ja, cool. Sie hat also gemalt. Wie schön das alles aussieht. Louis.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Komme ich hier wieder raus? Nee, spielen. Hallo? Ach so.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Odin, 1880 bis 1937 und Molly 1937 bis 1947. Sven, Edi. Gibt's noch mehr, das wir uns ansehen können? Mein Tag war soweit schön. Steffi, danke der Nachfrage.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Happy 90. Geburtstag. Huch! Ein rosa
The only trace
Badezimmer.
Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Und wie viel
It was a
rosa?
pretty big trace.
Und wie viel rosa das ist. Wahnsinn.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Aber wie cool das gemacht ist.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Haben wir uns alles angeguckt? Nicht, dass wir irgendwas verpassen. Schubladen kann ich nicht öffnen. Antonio, vielen Dank für deine 10 Bits. Trinken, gute Idee.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Okay. Doch noch was vergessen. Ich möchte mal ganz kurz noch was gucken bei Twitch Studio. Hallo alle, herzlich willkommen. Ja, perfekt. Jetzt sehe ich auch den Chat. hier jetzt, glaube ich, nichts mehr. Hier kann man nichts öffnen. Dann gehen wir weiter. Melden. Fortfolgen. Hallo Manuel, herzlich willkommen und vielen Dank für deine 400 Bits.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
To Commando Center. Die netten kleinen Figürchen.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming! But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Oh my God.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Hilfe. Huch.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Oh Gott.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Flieg nicht zu hoch. Etwas, was man nicht tun sollte.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
cool, Buffy.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Gehen wir erst geradeaus? Ich glaube ja.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Happy birthday, Barbara.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Okay.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Hallo Blue Sky, herzlich willkommen.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
cage rattled and grew still.
Oh my god.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
White chicks. Müssen wir jetzt nach oben. Skelett da vorne. Geht's so lang? Hier kommen wir nicht durch.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And there he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Ich habe auch gerade nicht laut gesprochen. Los, Guy. Wo muss ich jetzt hin? Fenster? Nö. Kissen. Ah, das sieht gut aus.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Na, sonst rede ich eigentlich normal. Aber vorher war ich extrem leise, das stimmt schon.
Hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Wie cool das gemacht ist. Er ist weg. Wo ist er hin?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Okay. Secure.
At the door, she heard whispering. was coming from inside the house.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Ear-oor.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Heute ist Molly wieder da. Lustig wie sie streamt, oh ja. Palmen bringt sie leicht ins Lot. Lachend durch das Leben trotzt. Gamerbrille aufgesetzt. Chat voll Liebe schwer ersetzt. Herzchen fliegen durch den Raum. Claudi rockt den Livestream-Traum. Claudi, c'est la vie, mein Freund. Genie, man lacht und nie bereut. Humor bringt Schwung in jeden Tag. Streaming-Zauber, der uns mag. Jeder Fail bringt uns zum Lachen. Mit Claudi kann man's echt gut machen. 1000 Stimmungen und gemixt. Jede Krise wird gefixt. Unsere Welt wird heller sein. Dank dem Claudi Sonnenschutz machen. 1000 Stimmungen und gemixt. Jede Krise wird gefixt. Unsere Welt wird heller sein. Dank dem Claudi Sonnenschein. Streamen bis der Himmel lacht. Humor hat uns das Glück gebracht. Claudi, c'est la vie, mein Freund. Genie, man lacht und nie bereut. Humor bringt Schwung in jeden Tag. Streaming-Zauber, der uns mag. Claudi, c'est la vie, mein Freund. Genie, man lacht und nie bereut. Humor bringt Schwung in jeden Tag. Streaming-Zauber, der uns mag.